Hello and welcome to Prime Time Modelling with me, Phil, and part 2 of the Williams Honda FW11 build. Now, because it's been the Easter holidays, I've not had real chance to do anything on camera, as it were, but what I have done is rummaged through my spares box, and I found several of these, which are air ducts. Don't ask me what model they were from, because I really haven't got a clue, but originally I found two left-handed ones which weren't no good at all, but eventually I found a matching pair, and so what I've done is onto the actual axles of the Honda is to shave away all the original brake duct that was on there and make the internals all nice and round, and eventually with a bit of sort of manoeuvring and also getting everything sort of lined up, I've managed to put some rear brake ducts onto the drive shafts, which hopefully you can see there. Now they're not glued in to the actual drive shafts aren't actually glued in, they're just placed in there for the moment, but as you can see, they look the business, so hopefully we can use that on the model. So yeah, so we'll carry on. Okay, well, I thought I'd just show you how far we've got so far. I've been drilling out and sort of rearranging the snorkels for the turbos as well. So I did show you on the last episode, but we've got these two almost come into play. So just need a bit more fine tuning, but as we can see, we've got both of those in there. Okay, and these are just held in with blue tack at the moment. Everything is still, like I say, all dry fit. So yeah, as it's coming along, what we'll do is we'll now carry on with the rear end, painting the suspension and everything, and getting that all assembled, and then hopefully we'll get the drive shafts finished off as well, and have everything all glued together, so that's one assembly that is finished. Okay, as promised, I was going to show you how I actually strip the paint off my models using Mr. Muscle oven cleaner. Okay, now you'll have to excuse me if I don't talk, because this is pretty lethal stuff, so I'm going to just quickly spray these and then put the actual lid on the tin and then let it do its business. Okay, so I'll just make sure everything is moved into position, give the can a shake. Sorry about the movement, but trying to do this single-handedly, so just bear with me. Excuse me. Okay, and we'll just let that do its business. Okay, right, well, now that the Mr. Muscle has took its effect, what we'll do now is I'll show you how we clean it all down. There we go, as you can see, looks pretty grimy, but as you'll see, once I put some water in, sorry for the noise, but as soon as we start scrubbing, this may take a couple of applications, but as you can see, scrubbing with just a toothbrush, it's all coming away, decals and all. you go. It's all nice and clean, back to the bare plastic. And bearing in mind that this is what, 30 years old plastic, I think you'll find that that's done the job. And that's how I strip the paint off on my models. Okay. Okay, right. Well, nothing much to report so far, but what I have done is I've just put some plates on top of the radiators, which if we can get that into focus, you can see. Here we go. Basically, that's just so we can make the brackets for the snorkels to sit on. Still continuing with the sort of the finessing of the actual turbos for the snorkels to fit in, because I need the actual snorkels to actually intersect with two panels, not just in the front like I did before when I first originally done this conversion. So we'll carry on. I'm going to take out the dry shafts and get those snorkels or the actual air ducts smoothened out a bit better. So yeah, we'll carry on. Okay, right, well, I've been carrying on with some stuff off camera basically because it's fiddly little work, but what I've been doing is I've been adding some pipes and some wires to the engine. So if you just bear with me a second, what I will do is I shall just bring this into focus. There we go. Now basically I'm using wires and tubes that sort of just basically laying around in the parts box. Also some magnet wire as well, but as we can see I've excuse me, put ignition wiring harness onto the engine block. There we go, just there. Also made a turbo brace on both sides, and some cooling pipes as well. What I will do is I'll do a quick demonstration on how I actually made these, because it's fiddly work. I'm not done it over the camera because I don't want to be hunching over the table and giving myself a bad back. So but yes, as we can see, we're carrying on, and yeah, it's looking good. Right. Okay, right, as promised, I'll show you how I done my ignition wires and such like. First off, to do some pipes with an actual union joint on, just get some single core wire, cut it to length, and then strip half of it so that we've got a part that actually goes into the actual part that you're actually putting into, i.e. this time on the model was the engine block. And what I would do is just cut the other end. Do this, it's a bit fiddly trying to do it away whilst the camera is in the way, but basically just cutting one end and then pulling away like so, and then to whatever distance you want this piece to be into the model or onto the engine block or into the oil cooler, whichever. You then just stick that in with super glue and then move this up, which will do it like so. Yeah, and then once it's all dry, we just painted it white and then went over with some blue just to make it into the colour we needed, or if it's in another case, so if it's a water, then it would be purple. But that's the idea for that one. Okay, now for the ignition, strip some wire off of the same, or strip the actual tubing from the same single core wire. Okay, so we've got a length here, yeah, and using some thin single core wire, what we will do is we would melt the ends with using a lighter, so we can get rid of the actual coating. Okay, both ends. Okay, and just get rid of all the debris, and then what we do is we'd fold this in half to bring the two burnt ends together, like so, and then with a little bit of super glue on the actual wires themselves, we would then feed these into the tube. Now it's going to be a lot more awkward for me to do this away from eyesight because I've got the camera in the way, but we'll see what we can do. There's one, oh, that's just one in there. There we go. Okay, we'll slide that in, and then once obviously the super glue has took effect, we would then cut the wire and then maneuver it and cut to length to whichever way we wanted the actual ignition wires to go into the block. So okay, so that's that, and then what we would basically then have is, we can come back here, the wires, as you can see, going into the block, and then we would glue the tube to the front of the block and then feed it into the back, into the middle, underneath the plenum chamber. Okay, so I hope that's sort of just helped you out. The third one incidentally would be laid on top of this one, super glued, and then fed round the normal way, so then we get the effect. Okay, right, we shall carry on. Okay, one other thing that you may have noticed whilst I was just showing you how I've done all the piping and that, was that I've managed to do the snorkels, basically super glued onto the top and then built up and around the area with some putty, the actual shape, as you can see, looking rather nice. Done it on both sides obviously, so painting it up. I did have a small accident with this, that the shaft actually broke, so I've actually re-drilled it and super glued it, so it's got to be touched up, but yeah, so it's looking the business, I think. As you can see, there we go. I'm going to try and also do some modifications on the brake discs and calipers. These are the ones that come with the kit. Or started trying to actually make them look like proper vented discs by putting a strip of styrene over the ends and then drilling holes in. Still not happy with that because the caliper, well, looks pretty atrocious if you ask me. So what I'm doing is, with the help of again the Lotus Honda, is I've chopped the caliper from that particular disc and assembly, and then removed the stock one from the actual Williams, dremeled out a groove inside the caliper there, and put it onto the hub of the Williams, and I think you'll agree that looks a lot better than the original. Again, put another strip of styrene on that and drilled holes in. Looks a bit rough at the moment, but these are just at the moment just preliminary, going to be sanded down, and hopefully they'll look good, and hopefully I won't have any issues with them snagging in with the wheels, but I don't think there will be. But yeah, so that's another modification, and we'll carry on. Okay, right, well we'll just show you how we're getting on so far. Just another dry fit. As you can see, I've put some more wires and well, representative of sensors and overflow pipes. If we can just make it out there. Let's get that into focus. There we go. Put lambda sensors into the actual exhaust pipes, and also a overflow pipe here, which is obviously too long at the moment, just needs to be cut once everything's all fully assembled. Started painting the under tray as well, and used some bare metal foil to actually represent the heat tape that they put on. So yeah, it's all coming along nicely. Hoping you're enjoying the build. A little bit different, as I say, it's a resto, so hopefully people will enjoy it. Hope you'll like and subscribe as well. Tell your friends, tell everybody, and most of all, be good to each other, look after each other, and go and build a model. And until next time, see you later, bye.